Once upon a time, on the busy roadside, sat a poor beggar. His clothes were torn, his bowl was empty, and his eyes were filled with hopelessness. People passed by him every day. Some dropped a coin into his bowl and hurried away, while most simply ignored his existence. He thought his life was over. He believed he was born to beg and die, unknown and uncared for. One day, however, something remarkable happened. A wise old man stopped in front of him. Unlike Otter's old man didn't just give him money and move on. He sat down beside the beggar and said, "Your life will never change until your mind changes first." These words echoed in the beggar's heart like a bell, making him think deeply for the first time in his life. The beggar started to question himself. Am I really useless? Or is it only my thinking that keeps me here? He looked at the worn-out bowl in his lap and realized it was Unan Fedor, the people that had condemned him to this life. It was his own belief that he was worthless. From that day on, the beggar decided to stop blaming his fate and start taking responsibility for his life. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he was determined to try. He had a bit of money left from the coins people had given him. Instead of using it to beg, he bought some fruits from a vendor and started selling them on the roadside. It wasn't much, but he was taking a step away from the begging bowl. Every day he sold a little, saved a little, and slowly his earnings grew. It took time, but eventually he had enough to expand his small fruit stall into a proper shop. The journey was long, and at times he wanted to give up, but the wise old man's words kept him going. The world outside changes only when the world inside changes. Slowly, people started noticing his efforts and stopped just walking past him. They began to respect him and buy things from his shop. His life was improving, not because people felt sorry for him and gave him money out of pity, but because they valued his hard work and the quality of his products. Years went by and the beggar turned his life around completely. What once seemed impossible became his reality. He went from being an ignored street beggar to a successful shopkeeper, all because he changed his mindset. Now, whenever the narrator saw the beggar, he couldn't help but smile, thinking about how his life had changed. It was a sight that filled him with hope and inspired him to keep moving forward in his own life. One day, as the narrator was passing by the beggar's shop, he stopped to buy some bread. As they were about to part ways, the beggar called out to him, "Please, don't forget what I told you. Change your mindset, and your life will change. Poverty, failure, and fear live in the mind. Shift your thoughts, and you shift your destiny." The narrator nodded, understanding the depth of the beggar's words. In that moment, he realized that it wasn't just the beggar who had transformed. He himself had also changed. He was no longer the same person who'd first read the beggar's story. The beggar's words echoed in his mind, reminding him of the power of mindset and the importance of taking control of one's life. And that, dear friends, is the end of our story. If you liked this tale and want more stories like this, stay tuned for more content. Thank you for watching.